Good morning, my friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. We've got a high surf warning here today, and also it's a little bit overcast. There's a lot of surfers out surfing. I know you can't see them in the background, but trust me, they're to either side of me here, and we've got so much to talk to you about here. We've got that bluefin tuna bite down in Ensenada and San Diego that we'll get you caught up on. Did the white sea bass bite in the Channel Islands? What about those big yellows at San Clemente Island? We've got some good inshore fishing to talk about, including calico bass at the breakwall. We've got it all for you here because you know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, I just had to do that because it was so good. I have to tell you, good morning. Great to be with you. Thanks for spending some time with us here this morning. Hit that like button, share these videos with a friend. If you are enjoying them, make sure you subscribe, tick that bell so you're notified when there is new content. Man, I'll tell you, fishing, it has been so exciting this year. I mean, it seems like it's gonna rock and roll and then it backs off. There's been so many extraordinary catches by so many extraordinary anglers, but perhaps at the very top, the apex of the summit right now has got to be Isabella and her dad, Eddie. Isabella Berrigan. You know, she was here the other day. She was on the Endeavor, first overnight trip, first white sea bass. Isabella, I'm still so proud of you. And she took the time to send me this lovely message.
Mr. Friedman, thank you for making one of my goals come true about being on the morning briefing. Keep up the good work.
Isabella, I can't thank you enough. That really means so much to me. I'm so happy, but you know, you kind of have a little bit of a problem that I want to discuss with you. Your verbal skills, your presentation are so good that when I need a day off on the morning briefing, I may be giving your dad a call and seeing if you might be able to fill in. Awesome. Thank you. Means so much to me. Really, really deeply appreciated, Isabella. Have a wonderful day. Do well in school and get out there and catch another big sea bass. All right, some albacore info kind of for you. Tommy Holland is in touch with those commercial boys. Man, he provides us with so much great information. And Tommy said that in the next week, 10 days or so, commercial boys are going to be leaving San Diego and they're going to go take a look at some of the areas we have been talking to you about. And in the next 10 days or so, the clarity will start to show itself about our albacore season. Again, one more time. We've got a lot of cold water, a lot of anchovy around. Things are looking like it is really viable for this year in SoCal. We are predicting an albacore season, third year in a row. So we've blown it for 2 years. But Tommy says those commercial boys will be out there taking a look around. That is exciting stuff as we'll watch. And that video that was rolling behind that little albacore talk with you this morning comes from the FV Pikey and my friend JJ Garrettson, who used to run the Apollo. Great guy. I met JJ when he was a kid. I think it was on the Pegasus. He was a deckhand, and it's good to see him. Sean Morgan down in Cabo San Lucas with an extraordinary catch, a sculpin. He wanted me to show you a sculpin. He said he didn't even know they were down in Cabo San Lucas. Swears to me he caught it down there, so I'll leave you think about that. Don't forget, in the show description, you can click on a link and make a donation to our GoFundMe page. We've sent thousands of items to Mexico, and your help would be deeply appreciated. Let's get in to the tuna bite, bluefin tuna bite. Down there out of Ensenada, they are again starting to catch with the nicer weather that they have had, and that is really helping. So a few bluefin tuna down there for the Pongueros, starting to catch more and more, but that bluefin bite, as you will hear, has been really off kind of here the last few days. Showed some signs of life last night. Good rock fishing south of the border. Up we come. On board the American Angler last night, they ended up with 8 bluefin tuna. I think they had 1 the night before, if memory serves me. Tim Marquez is out there, and Tim's been sending us great reports last night. 8 fish in the 20 to 60 pound range. Tim said the 300-gram SK lures were the ticket. That was working best of all. On board the Pegasus, they had 10 bluefin tuna, just missed limits on their trip, and had plenty of delicious eating bottom fishing. Man, the bottom bite, I know a lot of you are out there trying to catch bluefin tuna, and I get that. But man, for us guys who fish commercial cod, love fishing cod. That scene on the deck of the American Angler yesterday was mind-boggling. I had a couple of guys make a phone call and say, I haven't seen fish like that, bottom fish like that, for a long, long time. So that is really exciting stuff. During the daytime, that bite on the bluefin tuna is almost non-existent. Some guys will pick a fish or two, including those full day guys, which I will get into in a moment because they've got some great kelp, paddy, yellowtail fishing going on right now. So bluefin, really picky right now. You need fluorocarbon when you're fly lining a 30 to 40 pound bait. Pick a good hot bait. It makes all the difference in the world. If you don't know how to do that, talk to a deckhand, because it's not only about choosing the bait, it's about extracting the bait without doing any damage to it, getting it in the water, and getting a presentation that looks really natural, and then that bait is going to get gobbled up before any other. So 30 to 40 pound, 60 to 80 pound rig, and then a 100 pound 2-speed reel. You know, you get away without that on most nights and on most days, but if you got it, bring it. You know, if you're going to rent it and spend a bunch of money, talk to the guys at the landing and the crew. They're going to give you some really good advice. All right, so kind of hit and miss on that bluefin tuna down there, but that light switch is going to go on again. We'll keep our eyes on it for you very closely. The yellowtail bite on the kelps just seems to be getting better and better and better. The grande has been cranking some fish. 27 guys, a buck 35 on the 5 to 10 pound yellowtail. Great fishing on board the grande. How in the heck can you beat that on a boat that leaves in the morning, comes back that same afternoon? Tremendous fishing on the grande. They had a lot of happy anglers on board, a lot of people celebrating and having lots of fun. Most of that's fly line, fluorocarbon. 2.0 size hook's going to work really, really well for you. That has definitely been the ticket here recently. Some great fishing going on. San Diego, 74 on the yellowtail. Other guys and private boaters have been doing as well. Kelps are starting to load up more and more. And again, it comes down to finding that horseshoe, that lucky kelp. So you've got to find the right one. But if you do, it can be game on. And it gets super crazy, super fast with some really great fishing going on. Excuse me, on the kelps down in that neck of the woods. San Clemente Islands had some really nice yellowtail on it. 15 to 40 pound size fish. Thunderbird yesterday had a good sign of that forky. They ended up with 3 yellows. Sea lions drove them insane out there. The blackfish had 6 halibut, 9 yellowtail out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach. No big numbers on that forky yet, but man, they are impressive fish. Look like kind of like Guadalupe Island fish. They're so big in some cases. Most of them 15 to 20, 25. Some fish pushing 40 pounds every once in a while. Nothing wrong with that. Our buddy Scott Buchert, he was out on the freelance yesterday out of Davies Locker, and he said the sheep's head bite was outstanding. Fishing squid. They had quite a few sheep's head on board the freelance. Scott said it was almost limits, so good sheep's head bite. That was about the extent of it, but some good eating, fun fish to catch on board the freelance yesterday out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach, California. The pursuit is on its way to Catalina Island. One of these days, they're going to come up with a hit on the sea bass. I'm hoping that will happen real soon. For the most part, you know, they get a chance for some halibut when they're fishing over at Catalina Island. Also, copious amounts of rockfish, so that continues very, very well. Speaking of copious amounts of fish, the Endeavor the last couple of days has had some great fishing. So Tucker McCombs took Mother's Day off to spend with his lovely wife Brittany and their family, and Cody Rogers filled it. Cody runs the Island Spirit. I love fishing with Cody. If you've never seen his podcast, you ought to take a listen to it. In fact, we've got to do a new one, Cody, and get caught up. I just want to let you know, Cody took the helm, and man, he did not let anyone down with great fishing. 24 halibut, a yellowtail, and wide open rockfish. Yesterday on board the Endeavor, Luke Fitzpatrick was there, and Luke said, you know, we didn't get the sea bass, but there was no disappointment at all because I got to fish lingcod on the swim bait, and Luke got his biggest fish to date, a 23-pound, nice big ling, beautiful fish. Great job, Luke, and some really fun fishing going on in the Endeavor out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing. Don't forget, kids fish free. on the old Matt Walsh, which is the Californian, and they fish free. Paid adult, kids 12 and under, fish free on Sundays. You don't want to miss that. You can jump on board with Cody on the Island Spirit. They've been having great local fishing. There are also Mirage yesterday, 7 halibut, a white sea bass to go along with it. One sea bass, I believe, on the Yellowtail Spirit. The sea bass have been playing games with us. Maybe Tucker McCombs has the answer.
When the water kind of started to mellow out after El Nino, the sea bass fishing kind of got really good again up here. I'm seeing just as much fish as I have the last few years. Squirrely, it's moving around a lot, hard to find, but I'm seeing volume when we are seeing it. When it kind of settles in and does its thing, it's going to be really good, and I think just as good or better than, 90% of the time in the Channel Islands up this way for sea bass and for halibut, we're using live squid. So it's live squid on a dropper loop. Usually we use those Aki Twist, Owner Aki Twist J hooks,
Yep.
or the Blacktail makes an Aki Twist, pretty much the same thing. Depending on the depth, anywhere from a 4 to an 8 ounce sinker and 30 to 40 pound test. We usually recommend fluorocarbon. Sometimes it's slider fishing. Usually when the water warms up a little bit, we're catching them on sliders and lead heads. The latest thing that's been working for us and other boats is the fluke, especially when squid's a little bit less accessible, hard for us to find the squid. You still have an opportunity to catch a sea bass on the white fluke plastic.
So we'll hopefully see that sea bass bite nails today. We'll be watching it for you very, very closely and see what happens. Rock fishing up and down the coast, tremendous. And we mentioned up there in Ventura, but you can basically start below the border in Ensenada and work your way up without hitting every single landing. Just mentioning to you, when you have good weather, most of the time you're going to catch some great rockfish, even locally here, better out at the island. So overnight trips have been quite a bit better, but there has been really some great rock fishing, especially with this deep water thing going on right now. Man, the giants, that American angler, I hate to go back to that again, but what a scene Tim Marquez provided us with yesterday. That was absolutely fantastic. Some great local fishing. So Noli Yan Jr., who's going to be on our Apollo trip, I believe, at the end of the month. Noli Yan said, man, this big swell, I can't go out there on a kayak and catch anything. I'm going to stay in Newport Harbor. And he had an epic trip for a spotted bay bass. Good job, Noli. Happy to see that. Guys, we're fishing the saltwater bass series. Dale Shaw, Frank, Bobby Martinez, all with some really nice bass. And do you want to know what the definition of wide open is when you're fishing calico bass at the breakwall? You want to know what the definition is? It's when Steve Oropesa from Promar can get a bite, as you can see right there. And I'm kidding. Steve's an accomplished angler, does a great job. You can see him tossing back a nice calico bass. Nothing wrong with that. Surf fishing's a little difficult with this seas, but you could fish this actually. The drawback more than anything is all the kelp I see in the water, but that's here. Hopefully, yeah, it's a mess. I wouldn't want to be throwing a chrome crocodile in that. Hopefully that cleans up, because next weekend is our tournament. And I should say it's the Redondo Rod and Gun tournament. $20, you're in. You can check in at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, or you can check in also at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. $20, Saturday and Sunday you're fishing yellowfin croaker, corvina, halibut, spotfin croaker, and there's one other one that I'm forgetting. Anyway, you can get all that information by going to www.redondorodandgunclub.com, or show up at any one of those venues I just mentioned on Saturday or Sunday in the mornings or in the afternoon if you want to sleep in a little bit, and you can sign up. Give them a $20 bill. You get your ruler, take a picture of your catch, send it in, and perhaps win a great prize, get bragging rights, and, of course, come to a really great banquet at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday over there at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. Fish tacos. Chuck Zimmer, the president of the club, was recently out on a great trip on the Royal Star. Great in terms of the rockfish bite, and those little rockfish are going to make some really good fish tacos on Sunday at 3. So I hope to see you for that one. That is for sure. Once again, the Apollo is going this Wednesday night out of 22nd Street Landing on a great day and a half trip. Last trip out, just missed limits of white sea bass, had 19 big sea bass. Greg Obi-Mako will be doing his thing. not only in terms of catching fish, but entertaining everyone, because Greg is a great guy and a great entertainer. That is the Apollo Wednesday night day and a half trip, 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. Call right now and grab one of the last spots. Limited load, only 18 people. 832-8304-310 area code. All right, my friends, we are going to continue to watch it for you all very, very closely. Isabella, Eddie, thank you so much. That was precious. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget, we have that link, everybody, in our show description. You can click on it if you could donate $5, $10, $100, whatever. It all goes to help us pay for the shipping, and we have some more costs coming up as we are going to start distributing the clothing down in Mexico. Really appreciate it. In fact, Eddie, Isabella's father, said, Phil, if you want anybody to come down and help you, I'll be there. Those are the kind of people that we're so proud to be associated with. Somebody like that. Eddie, I'll get in touch with you as soon as we figure out our schedule with regard to that. All right, thanks for spending time with me. As always, it is deeply appreciated. Let's hope those kelp paddy forkies are going to continue to bite. Let's hope we see those yellows at Clemente turn on sea bass in the Channel Islands. And let's hope you all have a wonderful day. I toast you all one more time. Thank you for joining us here on the morning briefing. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.